There we go, recording in process. All right. So happy that a handful of you were able to join us today. Very excited to be here together. We have people from UK, India, Texas, San Francisco, Maine. I think I remembered all of them. And it's amazing. It's starting to feel real, isn't it? And you know, course registration is one of those moments where it definitely feels really real. It's so exciting. I love registration, which I always say is kind of funny because I'm not actually going to take these classes, but I get really, really into your schedules. I love a brand new curriculum. It's fun to, you know, see all the course descriptions. It feels like there's so many possibilities. And I also like the puzzle of fitting it all together. So this summer, you know, as I'm working with my colleague Sabobo to build your course schedules for the fall, I'm going to be paying attention to what you're expressing as, you know, your interests, academic interests, what's most important for you to take in the fall, what you know, what skills you want to work on, and as well as balancing a variety of different approaches. So classes, not all of your classes are reading, writing heavy. Not all of them are, you know, focused in the visual arts. You know, I'm going to try to look for a balance in terms of approach and discipline, and also times of days of the weeks. So some students will say, I took classes for 8 hours in high school in one day. I can do that at college, but I think you'll find that that's not really the case, you know, that it's, it would be challenging to hold your concentration and really to engage at the level that you'll be asked to engage if you have a huge block, you know, of back-to-back classes. So I'm going to share my screen, but remember, we want this to be as conversational as possible. So feel free to enter questions or just unmute and interrupt me. But I'm going to share my screen now, and we're going to look through and give you a little tour. Okay, so this is your checklist. It's been emailed to you, so you can find a link to this in your email, but you can also just type in Bennington College checklist, and it'll be the first thing that comes up for you. I'm going to put this in the chat for those of us who are right here, but for anyone watching this video, if you just go into Google or a different search engine, type in Bennington College chat, it should come right up. You can also reach me at academicservices@bennington.edu. So just, you know, all one word. I'll put that in the chat as well. Academic Services, Bennington.edu. Okay, so as you look at the checklist, ASAP, register your Bennington account. So if you haven't done that yet, that's what's going to generate your Bennington email, which is, I don't know, pretty exciting, I think. So hopefully you've all registered your account. And then there's a contact and other information form that they want you to fill out as well. Under June 1, and more dates are going to follow. There'll be a checklist for you for things due July 1, August 1, you know, and so on. So this will be expanded, I think, starting this week, this will be expanded. Campus status confirmation. Hopefully the vast majority of people will be on campus in the fall. We still do have the option for people to study remotely. We have about you know, one reason it's really important to me to know if you're going to be on campus or remote is because courses at Bennington are labeled as in-person only or remotely accessible. So if you are remote, I'm going to make sure to register you only for courses that are called remotely accessible. That could be the courses totally online, or it could be in a hybrid. If you're on campus, you're in a classroom, and if you're off campus, you're taking the course remotely. I think about 30% of the seats in for the fall term are in remotely accessible courses. So it's a minority of classes for sure, but it is possible. Last year, everyone came to campus except for, we had one international student who couldn't schedule a visa interview until February. So they studied remotely in the fall and came to campus in the spring. But everyone else was on campus, and I anticipate that to be the case, but you do have some choice there. So we wanted to give you that option. I see someone asking a question about registering their account. I was trying to register my account with my student ID, but I got an error saying it's already been set up. I tried to log in, but couldn't. Any idea how to fix this? That is a great question, and I'm sorry that happened. But it also reminds me that to tell you in an email, so go back to your personal email, search Bennington. If you haven't registered your account yet, you are asked to enter your student ID number. It's a 5-digit number, and it was sent to you in an email. For Satara, what I recommend is that you email the help desk at bennington.edu. Okay. Oh, I spelled that wrong. Help desk. BTLPDESK@bennington.edu. So any questions that you're having, anytime that you can't log into account, your email account, your Populi account, anytime you're having any difficulties that have to do with technology, IT, helpdesk@bennington.edu is your best bet. You'll get an email right away saying a help desk ticket was created, and somebody will get in touch with you one-on-one to help you figure out what's going on. So hopefully you'll get that answer today, tomorrow, something like that, Satara. So thank you for your question. And certainly, your main contacts under this contact list, you can see really the people overseeing doing this website, sending most of the emails to you is going to be Student Life. And so their email is, and Bailey Fox will be the one answering this email. She's a recent alum. That's what the 21 is. She graduated last year, and their Student Life at Bennington. And so, for Satara, if you're still struggling after talking to the help desk, I would say Student Life at Bennington.edu is your best next bet. And as always, as we said, you can always get in touch with me through academic services at Bennington.edu. All right, so June 1, the course registration, that's really what we're gonna talk about today. I also wanted to mention the capacities at Bennington. So we ask you to do a capacity self-assessment. The capacities is what you can expect when you leave Bennington. You will have been engaged and feel really comfortable in these 5 core capacities that Bennington believes are essential to a well-rounded education for the 21st century. So we have inquire, research, create, engage, and communicate. And under each one, they ask you to kind of think about, where are you at this point in your progress on each of these capacities. So you can say starting to develop, developing, developed, or well developed, and then write a little bit, to tell us a little bit more. These will be shared with your faculty advisor in the fall, and you'll actually use it as part of a 1-credit course that you'll take in the fall, and then there's a 1-credit course in the spring. It's called First Year Forum. It's taught by your faculty advisor and an upper class co-leader, and all incoming first and second terms first-year students take this course. So if we have any transfer students with us who are coming in as third termers above, you will be paired directly with a faculty advisor, because you'll be proposing your plan in your first term. So you'll work one-on-one with someone. Everyone else will take First Year Forum. So it's an hour-long class where you're with the instructor who's your faculty advisor, the co-leader, and about 20 students. So I taught it this year and it was a really lovely cohort, we became close. A lot of friendships happened out of that class. So I think you'll like it, but it'll be used here. So take a little time. And we also pair it on June 1 with the course registration form because we think it might impact how you answer some of the questions. So I'm going to go through this link. We'll go to the course registration form. I have it kind of filled out here, but we ask you a few questions. What are your academic interests at this time? What skills are you interested in developing? So that's that might be where you draw from the capacities when you're thinking about skills. Do you want, are you really thinking that you want to work on your analytical writing skills, your research skills, critical thinking? For this, I just kind of put some example. And so maybe somebody is really interested in drama, but they want to communicate that the acting is going to be most important in the first term. So I'm going to go next just so we can have a little tour of this. And I put in courses and I think I hit a couple that were the same. I just put random courses in so I could move on. But Handa's tool we have in here twice. So I just wanted to make the point that you can enter, the form doesn't filter out. So you can enter a class more than once. So please don't do that. So make sure that you are watching this and are not entering the same class more than once. We want you to really express all of your interests and give us the most information we can have so that we can build you a really good schedule. And make sure you read, all of these little instructions carefully. So up here it says, this is where you're going to tell us, select courses that you already are really interested in. Like these are already your academic interests. You want to develop this passion. And we still urge you to, to give us a diverse kind of list of classes, but this is where you get to enter courses that you already know you're really excited about taking and feel really passionate about. Okay, so you go on to next. This section is explore widely and develop new passions. So this is where we ask you, it's a liberal arts education at Bennington. We really want you to draw from a variety of disciplines, be truly interdisciplinary in your in your education here at Bennington. And so, your first year on campus, especially for the first and second term students, this is a great time to both develop passions, but try new things. So this is where you can tell us, and again, in both of these sections, it should be in order of preference. So your top choice class should go at the top, and then your preferences on down from there. So again, I just filled these so that we could go through. So language, if you are interested in a language in this term. So if you are thinking, I want to study a language, but not in the fall, just say no here, not at this time. In the fall term, are you interested in studying a language other than English? And if the answer is not in the fall, say not at this time, and it'll skip you. We'll come back to this. But if you are interested, say yes. And then you can tell us which languages are you interested in studying in the fall? And do you have prior experience? If you do, it'll ask you to indicate, what your experience was. If you don't, that's okay too. So all of the rest of this is if you have experience. So I'm going to say we don't have experience, go to next. And then this is where you can just, these are the entry level Chinese language instruction, French language instruction, Japanese or Spanish. And sometimes students get kind of confused because it's like, I want to study dining culture in Taiwan, or I'm interested in virtual tours of Japan, but just know these are taught in the language, and it is an introductory, so for people who haven't studied the language before. And you can give us multiple choices if you'd like. If you had said yes here, you should fill out all those answers. You can skip this section, you don't have to answer this, because if you have prior experience, we're not going to put you in an introductory level course, right? And based on the answers that you gave here, I'm going to, and we'll look at your transcript as well, we'll place you in a class based on what instructors have shared with us. Anyone have any questions about languages, language study? Okay, so I'm going to go back and just say no here, and we'll skip us ahead. So this is where you find, we're going to enter, I'm sorry, this is where you're going to enter 1 and 2 credit classes. So in the first 2 sections, the develop your passions and explore widely, those were all 4 credit courses. So I had a student yesterday ask, there's classes that I found. I looked at the curriculum, I filled out the course registration prep form. There were classes that I found that I was really interested in, and I can't find them on your form. And I think one reason that might happen is that they're a 1 or 2 credit course as opposed to a 4 credit course. So the first 2 sections, we're looking for 4 credit courses from you. And then in this section is when you can tell us about all the 1 and 2 credit classes that you're really interested in. The other reason that you might not find a course on this form is if it's a 4,000 level course. So at Bennington, we have 2 levels of courses. We have 2,000 level and we have 4,000 level. And the way that you can tell if it's a 2,000 or a 4,000 is this course ID here. So where this first complement course 1, APA 2305.01. If it has a 2 at the first number, it's a 2,000 level. If it has a 4 at the first number, it's a 4,000 level. So this has nothing to do with credits. As you can see here, there's 2,000 level courses that are 1 and 2 credits. And then in the first section, we had 2,000 level courses that were 4 credits. So level and credit is different. So those would be the 2 reasons I would think that you wouldn't find a course. For first year students, it's important to know I am not able to register you for 4,000 level courses outside of languages. So if you have experience with Japanese, I can certainly register you for a 4,000 level Japanese class because I've gotten the permission of the instructor. But in general, 4,000 level classes are registered directly by the instructor. So the instructor is the person who controls their roster. They're able to accept students into a course or say, no, I don't think this is a good fit for you. And that's why I don't have the agency to register you for 4,000 level courses over the summer if you're a first or second term student. If you're a transfer student, there is a section on this form where you're able to indicate that you're an upper level transfer student, so a 3rd term, sophomore, junior, something like that. And someone from academic services will work with you one-on-one and will try to contact faculty on your behalf during the summer to see if you can be added to a 4,000 level class before everyone's back on campus. For everyone else, there will be an add drop period in the fall after you've come to campus and before classes start. There will be a time where you're encouraged to reach out to faculty directly to see if you couldn't join a 4,000 level class. Also in the fall, when you get here, there will be auditions, music, instrumental and voice auditions, drama auditions, and dance auditions. So they will also happen either before classes begin or in the first week of the term. We'll have a schedule of auditions that we'll give all of you as you're coming to campus. So we're, during orientation, we're going to work on registration completion, make sure you know how to navigate the add drop process. We'll give you contact information for faculty, that audition schedule. So you will have what you need. And we have a couple of comments or chats. To understand the classes that are remote and which ones are in person, we can understand that from the full course list description area. Yes, so I'm gonna go into my bookmarks. I'm gonna grab the curriculum. So, and then I'm gonna just pick a random class. So let's pick a 2,000 level. So you see all these, the 4,000, you know, it's fun to look at them, just know I can't register you for them right now. So we'll go to this one. And the delivery method here, where it says delivery method fully in person, that indicates that it's an in-person only class. If you, let's see, advanced search. Okay, here we go. Under all courses, we can see, is it fully in person? That would list all the courses that are fully in person in the curriculum. Is it hybrid, meaning if you're on campus, you will be in person, and if you're off campus, you will be remote, and then you can see all of those classes. And then fully remote, those are our fully online classes. And so you can search by that and look through as well. So if you know that you do not want to be in a course that is remote, make sure not to add it to your form. We're not going to register you for any class that you don't indicate on your course registration form. So that's your easiest way to avoid. And you can see there's not a lot that are completely remote compared to, what we have a fully in person or hybrid. Okay. So let's see, let's go back to the form and we'll finish that tour, but these questions are awesome. Sorry, that's not the one we're using. So these were our 1 and 2 complements. I'm going to go to next. So this is where you indicate I'm a first year student in my first or second term. So it may be that you're entering, you are a transfer student, you're coming as a second term student, you're still in your first year, right? So you're going to take a first year forum class for 1 term. We're gonna register you with the other first year students. We're gonna put you in an orientation group with other first year students. If you're a transfer student coming in as a sophomore or above, this is that you're gonna propose your plan in the 3rd term. You're gonna work directly with a faculty advisor, just one-on-one, not part of a first year forum. You'll be in an orientation group with other transfer students. We'll pull you out of orientation to have some special programming so you feel prepared for the plan. So if I'm just going to click this in case we have any transfer students watching or on the call. So yes, I'm a transfer student, and this is where you would have access to indicate 4,000 level courses. So remember that 4 at the front tells us it's a 4,000 level course. And then for each course, you are asked to complete an interest statement. And this is great for first year students to have a general awareness about too, because this is how, by your second term, you might be taking 4,000 level classes, or during ad drop, you might be in contact with faculty. And so typically, this is kind of what you want to do, is talk about why you're interested in the course, how it fits into your academic interests, eventually your plan, but we know you don't have nobody entering has a plan yet, right? So how it fits into your what you suspect that you'll propose as a plan, or your academic interests, and then why you feel prepared to take the course. So what each 4,000 level course is typically has prerequisites. So it might ask you to have taken a 2,000 level course at Bennington, or at the college level. And so obviously you haven't taken a class at Bennington yet, but you can certainly talk about, what you did at your previous institution, and why you feel ready to take this course. So I'm going to go back, and then I will get back to the chat. So I'm going to go back, and I'm going to answer this like a first year student next. And this will be the last page for transfer students too. Please use the space to ask any questions or provide additional information. So somebody was saying, how do I let you know that I have academic accommodations and I want to reduce course load? I want to be registered for 12 credits in the fall, as opposed to 14 or 16 or 17. That would be a great place to put that here. What was another thing that someone was asking? Where would I put this? Oh, I want to study under a certain faculty member. This is a great place. Anything that you want to tell us, we really do read all of these comments. We read them multiple times. So, anything you want to put in here, go for it. I'm going to look at the chat and see what else we have. On-campus students are allowed to take remote hybrid courses as well, correct? Yes. Anyone who's on campus, you are able to take courses listed as hybrid and courses listed as remotely accessible. Just know that they may have components, or the full class may be online. And for any international student, you are also able to take hybrid or remote courses, but you need to take at least one course, one credit that's in person. And that's a requirement of the F1 visa. So this is a great question. Another question that came up yesterday was, how many credits do we typically take as first-year students? And the answer is probably, we say 14 to 18 credits is an average typical course load for an incoming student. You know, to graduate, to be eligible to graduate at Bennington, you are asked to earn 128 credits. If you divide that by 8 terms, it's an average of 16 credits per term. But as we said, some terms you're going to feel comfortable taking 18 credits, and that means you should feel comfortable taking 14 or even 12 in other terms. And you and your faculty advisor will be kind of watching that and making sure you know, that's you're working towards the 128 credits by the time it's ready to graduate. And also academic services, if you take less than 16 in any term, we're going to send you a quick email that just reminds you, you know, to watch your credits throughout your time at Bennington. And that is really just meant, we don't want anyone to be in their 8th term and realize that they're short credits, right? You know, so there'll be constant reminders. But it is absolutely okay. Your first term on campus, you know, for many of you, all the first term students, you know, it's your first time taking classes at a residential, like being part of a residential campus, taking a full course load. You're rebuilding your support network, right? You're finding new friends, finding new resources on campus. It's a lot. And so if taking 12 or 14 credits is going to help you kind of get your feet under you and make this transition, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Let's see, anything else? I'm going to drop into the chat the incoming student course registration. This was emailed to you as a Google Doc. The welcome web pages will be built out. Student Life and Admissions are working on that now. But in the meantime, you know, we wanted to get you this information so you could start on the course registration form. So there's some good information here. Normally this is on a website with drop downs. It's a lot of text, I understand, but there is a lot of good information here. And we've covered a lot of it. And then the other resource that we shared with you was Academic Life at Bennington. I think this helps you think about where the first form or first Google Doc, the incoming student course registration, that's sort of helping you think about the mechanics, like what we've talked about today. Academic Life at Bennington, I think, gives you a little more of the philosophy of what you're engaging in. And I wanted to make sure, because it's on a Google Doc and because it's a lot of text and I didn't want to scare people off, I took academic disciplines at Bennington and I put it into its own document. So I want to make sure that you see this link. And this, the faculty actually wrote themselves, you know, so this is what they want to tell an incoming student considering, you know, a class in their discipline. So I think there's some good stuff here. And I'll point out that the VA faculty, visual arts faculty, the demands of studio courses in the visual arts are rigorous and will place you in only, and therefore will place you in only one 4-credit studio course. So, you know, some students come in kind of thinking, I want to study visual arts, so I want to take ceramics and painting and printmaking in my first term. And what we found is that the demands, especially outside of class time, are very high. And until you're kind of get used to that at Bennington, we think for the first term, take one class, just one 4-credit class in studio art. And then in future terms, you can certainly take more than one, you know, once you sort of know what to expect and feel prepared. And I'll also say, you know, your VA faculty are going to really encourage you to you know, yes, to study and develop, you know, a really robust practice of with whatever visual art you're taking in a particular term. But they also want you to take classes in public action and SCT and science and different places, because that's going to inform your art. You know, you have something to bring back and something to say with your art. Okay, so I'm trying to think what else. The Bennington College welcome page. Hopefully you have seen this, you have this. My understanding is that Student Life is working to, and admissions are working to build this out, and it'll become a hub to link you to just everything you need, to come to campus. So right now that it's not linking to the checklist, but it will, that checklist that we were looking at. Sorry, where was our checklist? There's our checklist. It will link to the checklist, and the welcome pages will also link to a robust suite of web pages that'll give you all the information you need to navigate the summer and be successful moving in and getting started in the fall. I'm going to stop share. I think that was kind of the main points I was hoping we would get to today. So I'll turn it to you. Any other questions? Anything I didn't cover that you can think of? This doesn't just help you, we're recording, so it helps everybody who's not able to attend one of these sessions as well. Okay, well, remember, as I put in the chat, hopefully you're opening all these links. And if anyone can't find them later, email academicservices@bennington.edu. Student Life at bennington.edu is probably your main contact this summer. So email them as, any random question comes up, they'll get you to the right place. And then anything to do with IT, help desk at bennington.edu. Those feel like really good resources to kind of keep in mind. We're a small school. We all chose to be at a smaller school. We want interaction with you. We want to develop relationships with you. There's a lot of support here at Bennington. Use it all. So keep those emails handy. And as questions or concerns come up, do not hesitate to be in touch. Okay. Well, thank you again for coming. And I don't know, it's just so nice to start to see names and faces and get to know you just a little bit. It's making it feel really, really real. I'm so excited for all of you to be on campus in the fall and to start to put names and faces together and really develop relationships. So again, thank you for coming. I'm going to stop recording now.